Hi, I'm Ronnie Pack, pastor of Millington First United Methodist Church, and this is your midweek faith lift. I want to read to you a passage of scripture that comes from 2 Corinthians, the 8th chapter, verse 2. And it says, "For during a severe ordeal of affliction, their abundant joy and their extreme poverty have overflowed in a wealth of generosity on their part." A Christian gentleman named Robert Cole provided the following illustration. He said that one day he was crossing the street, and as he crossed the street, he looked down and he saw a penny lying in the road. And at that time, he decided to do nothing about it. Well, a couple of days later, he found himself crossing that same street. He looked down, and in the same spot, there was that same penny. Well, this time, he picked it up and he took it home. When he got home, he decided to send greeting cards to several members of his church. And inside of each card, he taped a penny. And he told them to collect as many pennies as they possibly could, and then they would put them together and use that money to go towards their church's feeding program, which fed the hungry of their community. He says that their church was able to get several $100s as people went around collecting pennies from their neighbors, from Sunday school classes, from wherever. And they used that money to feed people. He says, the penny by itself wasn't worth very much. But when it was added to all of the other pennies that the people of his church had collected, he noted that they were stronger together. It produced several $100s, which was used to feed a lot of people. We are stronger together. Luke's gospel reminds us to give, and to give generously. A good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be poured into your lap. For the measure that you give will be the measure that you get back. Throughout this coronavirus pandemic, I've witnessed the generosity of people from this church and the community as we discover how strong we are together. We've been able to keep our food pantry going through the volunteers that come up here and give unselfishly, put themselves sometimes at risk so that the people that need to be fed through what we can offer can continue to do so. Our backpack ministry has found creative ways to partner with restaurants in this community. And based on the generosity and the gifts of people that continue to give towards this ministry, we're able to provide food for those food insecure families and their children. Thank you for continuing to bless those who need our help. And I want to tell you, because of your generosity, you need to expect a blessing. For Luke tells us that God hasn't forgotten you either. Have a great day, and I'll see you again next week.